Boom, 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 chickadee chanka. How's it going, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United. I hope you're all having a good one. Thank you so much for everybody that's waiting and joining me in here. Aaron Homeyard, what's going on, dude? Jonathan Gallagher, Ice Queen Gaming, G Wolf United, Becky Hope as well, Ryan Burberspin 9, Simon Cowie. Who else is in here? Ellie, what's going on? Saeed Alom, what's crack-a-lacking, guys? Thank you so much for getting in here today. We're just doing a cheeky little transfer daily edition for you, afternoon stream, talking about the daily news and the latest goings-on within Manchester United's transfer window. So we'll get into all the nitty-gritty. Obviously, the main sort of stories at the moment, it's surrounding Jadon Sancho's potential move to Manchester United. United have to get the agreement in place with Dortmund first, of course. Personal terms and all that stuff, they've all been sorted out yesterday, of course. Well, not yesterday, ages ago, in fact, but we talked about it yesterday. So there's a bit to get into today, lads and lasses. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're having a great day wherever you're watching from the world. And smash that like button, lads and lasses. If you have not done so already, get involved in live chat. Let me just give it a refresh as well. Marshall Growler, how you doing, Marshall? Good to see you, buddy. Harris Khan, Jamie Loki Jones, yes, mate. Joshua Whitfield, Louise Murray, hello, Ryan. Connor Clark, Gus Smith. Great to have you all in here. Kung Kung, Pied-Eyed Piper, Carly Bennett, Becky Hope. Thank you so much for getting in here, everyone. Right, okay then. So basically what we're understanding today is there's some information surfacing to do with Solskjaer's meeting that he had the other day with the board, basically. So Solskjaer is understood to have had pretty much, I would guess you would call it crisis talks in terms of the transfer window for United, bearing in mind that the season's getting underway in 9 bloody days for Manchester United and 2 bloody days for everybody else. So I would say that they would be crisis talks, considering the only player we got in was Donny van der Beek. But, you know, this is what's coming out anyway. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, after holding talks with Woodward and Manchester United's board, pretty much almost demanded Jadon Sancho. United's desperate to sign him and frustrated that Dortmund doesn't want to lower their price even a little bit in these difficult times. And it's really looking likely that Dortmund are not going to move on their price tag, which is being reported at around about 120 million euros for Jadon Sancho. That's how much money Manchester United will have to actually pay to get Jadon Sancho into the club. And that's just a minimum of it as well, actually, lads and lasses. Like, there's other stuff that goes into this deal. We're also hearing that there's going to be sizable commissions and other sort of fees like that have to be paid to intermediaries. And basically the overall fee can actually be much, much higher than that. You know, like with Kai Havertz signing for Chelsea, it's obviously announced that it's 71 million, but it's also being reported that overall with fees and stuff like that, it's actually around about 90 million. So in terms of what Chelsea have actually had to spend to get their deal done. So bear in mind, we are at a during a pandemic here in terms of the COVID pandemic. Everyone's scratching around for pennies at the moment. Manchester United, are we realistically going to spend, I don't know how much it would be, 150 million, 200 million? Who knows how much it's all going to be all told to get Jadon Sancho into the football club. But we can't look at it like that. It's probably not going to be 200 million anyway. It's probably going to be, there's going to be some fees and extra add-ons and things like that. So 120 million euros is an absolute huge amount of money to pay. But then there's going to be also some other fees and commissions and things like that, which have to be paid to intermediaries. So this is getting expensive, lads and lasses. If Jadon Sancho wasn't expensive enough, oh my days, this is expensive. This is going to cost Manchester United an absolute fortune to get Jadon Sancho into the football club. Unfortunately for us, look, we could talk about maybe some alternatives, strengthening the team in other areas, but we've run out of time, guys. We've run out of time. If they'd have had these negotiations at the start of the window with Sancho and Dortmund, which they did, and if they decided either yes, we're going to do it and pay the money, or no, we're going to move on to our next targets, that is how they should have probably operated in this window. Because there's no guarantees they're going to get the deal done here already anyway. They've got to go back, and we're expecting a bid from Manchester United, an official bid, within the next 48 hours. There's also, probably 36 hours now, whatnot. There's also talk about the need for Manchester United to approach Dortmund after they've reached some sort of a verbal agreement, basically. So Manchester United will not even launch an official bid until they've basically got the give-go by Dortmund, maybe that they will consider a different price. So it's all getting a little bit bullshit, lads and lasses. We knew this, all the PR spin and everything that's going on in this football club. It's a nightmare trying to sign players in this window. We've had a nightmare in this window so far. Even if we do get Sancho, we haven't left enough time necessarily to prepare. And like I say, we've got that Crystal Palace game on the 19th. I mean, what do you guys interesting. Do you think this is a good window or a bad window so far? Craig Williams, how you doing there, Craig? Thank you very much for getting in. He says, at least we got Sanchez off the books. Yeah, at least we flushed him down the toilet, my friend. You're right about that one. Crikey, getting rid of him's like an absolute win this summer. You're right about that one. That is actually some very good business, to be perfectly honest with you. But Jadon Sancho is definitely Manchester United's primary target right now. Solskjaer is absolutely adamant he wants Jadon Sancho at the football club, and why wouldn't he, to be fair? He's a very, very good 20-year-old, up-and-coming, still doing the business right now, quality player. And at 20 years of age, he's only going one way, and that is to superstardom, Lantern Lasses, in my eyes. I think, he's going to be in the top 10 players in the world in a few years' time. So, if you look at statistically what he does for his position, he's already up there for the last season anyway. So, Jadon Sancho is a massive coup for Manchester United because he really gives us that quality and the depth up there. Suddenly, we have all that depth up there, which is very important for Manchester United in this window, which we haven't really done. We've got depth in midfield, that's great. But what about the rest of the pigging team, lads and lasses? What about the rest of the bloody team? Anyway, there's over 100 of you legends tuning in right now. Thank you so much for getting in here today and watching along this afternoon. Do us a favour if you haven't done so already and smash that like button, lads and lasses. That would help loads. And also get involved in the comments section. Once we've covered each little bit of information, each topic, I will dive into the comments section and see what you lads and lasses have to say in terms of reaction for it. So let's have a little bit of a vote then, lads and lasses. Let's say it did cost in excess of 120 million euros to get Jadon Sancho to Manchester United with all these different commissions and other fees that may be involved. Would you think that would represent good value for money for Manchester United? If you do think Manchester United should go ahead and do that, smash a 1 in the live chat. If you think maybe the money's better spent elsewhere, smash a 2 in the live chat. But like I said though, you can't really say that that's the case because we haven't got time to get any other business done. If we did go and get another player in that position, it's like there's not that much time for us to go and do it now. And the season is pretty quickly starting. And remember, there's other football teams that are also starting their seasons and having to strengthen. And there's not much time for them. I mean, remember, United's starting late in the Premier League. So in terms of the 19th of September, that's not the start time for most of the teams. They're starting on the 12th. Do you think they're going to want to lose their players after they've started the season? So that basically rules out I would suggest any Premier League players coming in after that window anyway. So forget going to a team that's in the Premier League and getting a player. That's my opinion anyway. So we will be looking for all these different options from different players abroad for the remainder of the season. Or are we? It seems like we're not really doing that much. There's a lot of 1s coming in the live chat. Good stuff. There's a few 2s. Actually, there's a bunch of 2s here. GR7, how you doing? GR7. Lee Matthews with the 1. Clam J with the 2. How you doing, Clam J? Jamie Loki Jones with a 2. Becky and Stuart Keogh with the 2. Gus Smith, Harris Khan 1. Kang Kung 2. So yeah, listen, it's a bit mixed, isn't it? I mean, it's a lot of money to spend on any one individual player at this moment in time as well. And he is a sick player, though. In my eyes, it's not our money. It's the shite Glazers who need to spend the money. And at the end of the day, I'd rather they went and spent it on a player like Jadon Sancho than lining their own bloody pockets. Because that's all they've really ever done at this football club. So the fact that they would spend and invest that in Jadon, I say just get the bloody deal done. But you know what? Even though we're expecting an official bid in the next 36 hours for Jadon Sancho from the football club, crikey, the money involved just makes me think that this is still not 100% happening, lads and lasses. I know there's a lot of people out there saying it's basically done because, look, Jadon Sancho's agreed terms with United ages ago and that's not the issue. But Dortmund have no incentive to sell other than the fact they want 120 mil for him in this climate too. So, crikey, it's going to be interesting to see if United have the bottle and the cojones and Woodward and the board and the owners and have the cojones to invest at this stage in Ole Gunnar and in an individual player, in one player like that. It's a big, bold move, isn't it, lads? And let's not lie. So I'm not 100% yet on this one, guys. I do think he will end up a United player, but I'm not 100%. You know, there could be something that falls down in this deal because of the sheer amount of money that is involved. Louise Murray, she says, yep. True, that's spend what we can. It's not ours. That's right. I mean, we shouldn't have an issue with the amount of money involved. It's all about just getting our player in there. It does seem like a pretty extortionate amount of money to play for a player at this moment in time, though. And it's clear that Borussia Dortmund will just not negotiate on this one. They've set a price. This is what's understood anyway from various sources and reports, that they set prices 120 million euros with no add-ons, no bonuses, no future fees, no installments, no on the never, no on the catalogue, nothing like that. No APR, none of this bullshit. Just all out 120 million euros down on the table. That is what we understand the deal to be. Maybe United can go back and negotiate slightly with that and maybe get a little bit knocked off, but the longer this window goes on, the less likely and less incentive there is for Dortmund to actually sell the player, because it's only going to leave them without a great player come the start of the new season. But we understand they've got their business done. Everyone knows we need to get the players in here. I mean, Gary Neville's been coming out saying we need to get the players in here. Everyone's been saying we need to get the players in, but we don't actually seem to be getting the players in here at the moment. Sancho, it does look good though. It does look good, but it's a lot of money, and I'm not convinced that our board have got the bottle to do it. What do you lads and lasses think? Viraj Palmer, how you doing, Viraj? He says, we're Man United, we can afford it. We absolutely should be able to afford it, because simply put, we're one of the biggest football clubs in the world, but we have gone over it. I mean, the shackles that we do have on us from the Glazers is pretty apparent. I mean, look, you've got Jurgen Klopp coming out today and basically saying, basically saying something along the lines of all of the amount of money that's being spent by teams like Chelsea and stuff like that. He actually says what I've been saying recently. He says something along the lines of, we can't all have oligarchs and billionaire owners and all this sort of thing. And he is right about that. That's why Liverpool, the champions of England, are still yet to even really do any business in this transfer window. That's exactly why. So in regards to Liverpool, obviously they're skint. United, everyone's feeling the pinch at the moment. Everyone's feeling this pandemic, whether it's a small club having to go into an administration, or it's a big club like Manchester United having to rein in this expenditure. The only clubs that are really not feeling it so much is the teams like Chelsea Scummers and Manchester City, and these guys who just have unlimited resources and funds, and it just doesn't even matter to them. It's like chump change. It's absolute chump change. So it really doesn't matter to them at all. Right, yeah. Let's get in your comment section for a minute. Let's see what your reactions are, lads and lasses, and your thoughts. Zahilmuk10 comments. We have to make sure to there from BVB. I'm not sure what you mean there, mate. Do you mean we have to make sure that we get the deal done with BVB? Jamie Loki Jones says, Pig, you play, mate. I think everyone would understand if you're ill. What does that mean? Pig, you play. I think everyone would understand if you're ill. I've got a bit of a melty voice at the moment, haven't I? Yeah, sorry, lads and lasses. Yeah, I'm a little bit under the weather, to be fair. Simon Cowie says, Pig, that's what Dortmund is saying to the media. They will take the add-ons and installments. No deal over 100 million are paid over installments or low-cost loans. Interesting, there you go. So, I mean, I do believe that there's some room for manoeuvre here. It's obviously being reported, like we said, it's been drip-fed. We've seen it through various people in the media, whether it is people like Fjortov spouting this Dortmund agenda or whoever it may be. We've seen it in the media. Look, there's one here right from this is today actually, 2:12 p.m. In regards to Jadon Sancho from Yanana Fjortov. He says, walk away if the price is unrealistic. I doubt this is Man United's strategy. It can't be. There is only one price, 120 million euros. He said Leverkusen ended up with a Havertz package of 100 million. Sancho is worth more, and Dortmund knows that. So yeah, that all is actually quite, valid information, to be fair. That's how much it looks like we had to pay, Chelsea had to pay Pogba money in order to get Havertz in the end with the overall package. There are going to be extra fees and add-ons and commissions for Sancho. So it becomes a huge money deal. But Sancho, is he worth it, lads and lasses? Because you're talking about somebody who's outshone somebody like Havertz significantly in terms of stats for goals and assists. Havertz's stats are great. They're different players, obviously. Sancho's more of that flying winger forward. Havertz is more of that attacking midfielder or in the midfield role even. So you have to understand that is the difference. But still, Sancho's stats are unbelievable. I mean, who would you rather have signed, lads and lasses? If the money was the same, never mind the money, but who would you rather have signed? It's obviously Sancho, isn't it? So, of course, he's a better player. He's got better stats. He's younger. He is homegrown, which you do have to pay for a premium for if you're an English football club. And he's going to get significantly better, but with the amount of stats that he's putting in, it's like, crikey, you've got to take notice and you have to understand that he is more valuable than Kai Havertz. Please do us a favour, lads and lasses, if you're tuning in right now, smash that thumbs up button. Thank you for stopping by and getting in here. chuck a cheeky little like on it. That would help us out tremendously. Michael June, what's going on? He says, good evening to you, Michael June, with the arm flex emoji. Beats produced by CYM comments Sancho all day. Jonathan Gallagher, Sancho. WJ Davies says Sancho plays for a better side, to be fair. By the way, Jonathan Gallagher, I did do that SPC, my friend. Who did I get? Ciro Immobile, I think, 96 rated. Bit piss poor. Still pretty good, though. Casper Romine says pockets of Glazers are not so deep. They drive Volkswagens. Is that legit, bro? Is that legit? Is that just a keeping up appearances sort of thing, that they don't want to be driving around in bloody gold-plated Bentleys at this stage? Or I would imagine they've got chauffeur-driven limos. That would I would imagine with those prats. But who knows? Becky Hope comments, Dejan, we got no head chairman called Woolwood, idiot owners called Glazers who don't care. We are sick of them. I 100% agree. I mean, the fact is they did spend, this is interesting as well. Something else came out. So the Glazers took over United. They moved their personal debt into the club. United obviously had no debt before that. So the Glazers, obviously we know that anyway, they bought the club with 800 million or whatever it was in debt money, and have obviously had to chip away at that and had to service that debt for the remaining period of time. And they even used the money from the Ronaldo sale to pay the club's debt. So, what happened there? We sold Ronaldo, we bought Valencia, I think, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, the Glazers are shocking, lads and lasses. The Glazers are shocking owners. You don't go and buy a football club like Manchester United with debt. It shouldn't have been allowed anyway by the Football League, the FA and all that. They shouldn't have even allowed this sort of approach to happen. I hope they learn from it, but they probably won't, because you know what? Money talks and bullshit walks, lads and lasses. And as long as everyone's getting their piece of the cheese out of it, then I'm sure nobody really bats an eyelid. That's the problem at the top. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that. But it is absolutely sickening, isn't it, that the Glazers bought this football club with all that debt money. Sniper Junior, how you doing, Sniper Junior? Thank you for watching, mate. He says we need a centre back and a DMF. 100%, mate. Like, where is this centre back of which we speak? There's all these links, but none of them have any real legs at this moment in time. I don't expect our board to really go and get a centre back in this window. I just feel like we're melting all over the place, and we'll be lucky to get Jadon Sancho over the line. And even this Reguilon deal, it seems to be like stalling. It seems like it's the buyback issue. It's like, because we don't want to lose the player in a few years' time after good service and give him back to you and develop him for you, we're going to pull out of the deal and leave ourselves up shit creek for the season for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That just doesn't make any sense to me. Even if it's a short-term deal, get a loan offer in then, like Sevilla. Sevilla are understood to have a loan offer on the table and another offer on the table. So there's no reason why Manchester United cannot do something like that just to help, just to add to our ranks. There's no shame in getting a player on loan if you think it's going to help you over the course of the season, which a player like Sergio Reguilon absolutely would. So yeah, this board is a joke. It's a calamity. Ozman, what's going on, buddy? He says, wasting time so they don't have to spend money. That seems to be how these lot always work. Minimal inputs for maximum pocket swelling. Look at Chelsea. Don't want to hear their excuses about spending. Yeah, maybe they just didn't want to get Jadon Sancho in before the season started because they'd have to pay him a few weeks extra wages, lads and lasses, as preposterous as it sounds. That's how much of penny pinching tosspots we've got at the football club. Somber locks over. How you doing there, Somber? Yeah, I'm not too bad. I hope you're doing very well. Smash a 1 in the live chat if you're doing well today, lads and lasses. Hope you're having a great day. Ellie as well is in here. Hope you're doing better today, Ellie. How's it going? Thanks for being a legendary mod. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to all the other moderators that are in here right now as well. Aaron Homeyard as well, and G Wolf United. Bunch of the legends keeping this live chat nice and hospitable for you, lads and lasses. Okay then. Let's have a look then. Jonathan Gallagher says, James Loki Jones, he scored 17 goals and you're calling him overrated. I bet you don't mention players like Lingard and Pereira. I guess you're talking about either Rashford or Martial, both of which are not overrated. Absolutely not. They're absolutely bloody sick. So yeah, they're still quite young as well. Martial's 24, 25 years of age. I've forgotten his age actually, but round about that. And Rashford's obviously only just turned 22. So they've still got a lot of their developing to do. They've still got their best years ahead of them. I think Martial's going to get 20 plus goals this season. I would hope he would get 25. And I think Rashford's going to have a much better season as well. Start the season much better because he was amazing last end of the start of last season. It just petered out, didn't it? But he had injury issues and he was coming back from that spinal injury. So we're giving the benefit of the doubt. I think he was been brilliant. Preston Chew says, is Sancho coming? Rahul Mix says, is Sancho coming? So, this is the thing. Manchester United have to table an official bid. Solskjaer has, of course, demanded Sancho. He's made it his priority that he is his number one target in this transfer window. And it's down to Woodward and the board to agree the deal with Dortmund. Personal terms are not an issue here, lads and lasses. We've got some more news as well here in regards to the potential Sancho deal, which we'll get into in a moment for his wages and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's all about the deal being agreed between the two football clubs. That's what it is. Dortmund say they have a firm price of 120 mil, and Man United have to reach that agreement with them. So it's reported anyway. I mean, take this with a pinch of salt, lads and lasses. We don't know the actual facts until it's announced, if it ever is announced. But this is the thing: Jadon Sancho. It's understood that he's going to become the third highest player at Manchester United when he comes in. I mean, if that is true, I find it a little bit. Thing is, to get him in away from Dortmund right now and sign him in this big money deal, you are going to have to pay him pretty handsomely, aren't you? Because of the profile of the whole situation, the profile of the player and everything. He's not going to come over here and be on £120,000 a week or anything like that. So this is going to be a big money wage. It's been reported at about £250,000 a week, but I think it will probably be somewhere closer to £200,000 to £250,000 a week, simply because if you look at what Marcus Rashford's on, if you look at what these sorts of players is on, it needs to be in similar sort of parity to that. I can't imagine the likes of Rashi and these guys would be too keen having somebody who's not been at the football club, who's been playing in Germany, albeit is a great player, comes into the football club on more money than them. So we'll see what goes on. I mean, you're going to have to pay him a significant amount of money. What would you guys think is a fair amount of money to pay Jadon Sancho in the new contract? Let's have a little chat about that, because it's interesting. I think 200k a week at this moment in time sounds realistic, with maybe some sort of a progressive increase, 5% on incremental every single season or something like that, or over a 5-year deal, 6-year deal. I hope it's a long-term contract. But look, it's a lot of money, isn't it? Pogba's on 300k a week. David De Gea's on 350k a week. So it would undermine the whole wage structure at the club if it was any more than that. So it's not going to be any more than £250,000 a week. But what do you guys think is a fair amount? Get your thoughts and opinions in comments in the comments section. Let's have a look. Reported Kid says £2. A little bit harsh on Jadon there, reported Kid, but fair play. DT Westy says 300,000. So you think, yeah, put him on parity with Paul Pogba. See, I don't quite see that. I don't think that you can really do it, because Paul Pogba's on 300k a week. He's one of the senior players in the team. He's been here for years. He came in on a massive money deal from Juve, of course, and he's a World Cup winner and all these different factors. He's a massive profile player. He's a bigger profile player than Jadon Sancho. I know that's not all what it's about, but I cannot see Manchester United paying Jadon Sancho 300k a week, just simply because I think it would undermine the whole rest of the team in some ways. You'd have that disparity there between Rashi and Martial and these guys, and then Jadon, who's younger and come in and is not the part of the furniture at Manchester United yet. I don't think that quite works for me. I know he's on a significant amount at Dortmund, but it won't be anywhere over, won't be anywhere near £200,000 a week. So I think 200k, maybe 220, somewhere around that would be a good amount. Nicholas Clark thinks 100,000. It's been reported 250 anyway, but I mean, look, take it with a pinch of salt at this point. Gabriel Cujo comments 200k is fine and some bonuses. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Goal bonuses, assist bonuses, absolutely, and £200,000 a week, because that's what Rashford is on, I believe. So people obviously moan about that sort of a contract with Rashford, but he's 22. He's one of the best young English players in the country, really. So it's not crazy, and he's Manc born and bred and all this stuff. Alexander Carestia also thinks 300k would be the amount that you should probably go to pay him. Interesting. It seems too much to me, but Mujtaba Hussein, thank you for subscribing. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, everyone. Smash the sub and get involved with your thoughts and opinions in the comment section as we go along. Also, I will dive into the comment section and have a proper bit of a Q&A with you at the end anyway, once we've gone through all the major stories and stuff like that. So yeah. There you go. Anyway, Jadon Sancho, the saga continues. Will we match the money? Will we pay him the money? Simon Cowie says Sancho is on 200k a week as a base salary and 50k in performance add-ons. Bloody hell. Casper Romjan says 10k a week. I think that's a little harsh. Adam Maloney thinks 220. See, I think 220 as well, Adam Maloney. I think maybe it is going to have to be more. Shout out to Aditya Rivenkar, by the way, for subscribing. I think it is going to have to be more but than 200k, but not a lot more. Because, like I say, the other players in the squad, the senior players at the squad, you cannot undermine the rest of the team like that. Jesh Bij comments, De Gea gets 350k a week, so Sancho should get 300k based on that. Really, though, because David De Gea has been here for like a decade, and he's also won our player of the season a shit ton of times, and there was also times when other football clubs were sniffing around him significantly, so we sort of got him down on a good contract, of course. But you know what? For the impact and the input that David De Gea has had into this football club as his time as a United player, he deserves that 300k a week, even after that 350k a week, even after that shit season that he had. In all honesty, because he's just been such a godsend for United over the last decade. Unfortunately, last season he was gash and he needs to step up and sort his bloody little neck-bearded life out. I've got one of those too, you know, so, but he does have a neck beard, I'm just saying. Anyway, Jesh Bij, thank you for that, mate. Yeah, 350k a week. I don't know, Sancho, he can't have parity with Paul Pogba straight coming in there. He can't have parity with Paul Pogba. Priyan Das thinks no more than 200k. This is a great talking point and discussion for this video, lads and lasses. You know, the reports are 250. I think that's a little bit high. Get your thoughts and opinions in about the wages and what sort of structure you think that Jadon Sancho should have. Ryan Video says, I reckon 250k a week. Yeah, I don't think it'll be any more than that. I think that'll be the maximum it will be. I mean, look, maybe if you said Rashford and Martial and these guys, you said, look, Jadon's coming in on a little bit more. But look, you know, we're going to renegotiate with you, lads, soon. You're part of the squad, are you? Part of the proper first team here at Manchester United. So their wages are only going to go up anyway. We don't know what sort of incremental increases they have anyway. But you do often get that within football clubs. Like, often if a player signs a new contract at a club and it's on a lot more money and a certain player finds out that it's on a lot more money, then they will want parity if they believe that they're a really good player. Or it could really do some bad things to their mental aspect of the game and wanting to actually be at the football club. Such as the Ander Herrera situation, because he wanted, like, I believe it was 250k a week or 200k a week at United to stay. And we weren't prepared to do that because he's not really worth that, in all honesty. He's a good player, and I would like him at United still, but he's not. I don't think he's worth that, really, when you look at what other players around the world are being paid. He's not a top-class, world-class player like that should demand that amount of money. But when you have a twat like Alexis Sanchez getting paid 500 grand a week to play the piano and impersonate Bruno Mars, not Bruno Fernandes, but Bruno Mars, then what happens? Well, it undermines everything. You can't justify it to the player. Ander Herrera's like, well, I'm doing twice the work of that bloody twat over there. Why the hell is he getting paid twice as much as me? And that's probably what caused the downfall of Ander Herrera at Manchester United, in my opinion. The complete bottle job of the wage structure at United. Hey, how's it going? Andreas Satoru comments, strengthen elsewhere, wait until January, COVID-19's not over, Jadon's worth 60 million and 150k in wages. Fair play to you, Andreas Satoru, for getting your thoughts and opinions in it, buddy. Yeah, I mean, look, we do need to strengthen elsewhere as well, but if the opportunity presents itself, I say we get him now because we need him for a start. The squad could really do with Jadon Sancho in there, but also there will be other clubs sniffing around him in the future. Like you said, it's COVID-19 pandemic right now. When that is over, if we leave it until that stage, maybe the Barcas of this world, or the Real Madrids of this world, or the bloody Chelsea scumbags of this world, or the Liverpools of this world, or whoever would actually come in and pursue him then. So I hope that we get him before anybody else gets the opportunity to get him, because I do think it's strange that no other clubs are interested in him. The only thing that it is that there's no value for money there. Like, there's just value elsewhere more. Like, if you spent the same 120 million on three other players at 40 million each, like three Donny van der Beeks, arguably that's much more better value, isn't it, than going to put all your eggs in one basket and buying Jadon for that amount of money. Which is why the big clubs of this world, at this moment in time with the pandemic on, have not been lining up for Jadon Sancho. Like, you have to ask yourself that question. Why is no other bastard going in there for Jadon? Like, it's because United are obviously the club that has been set up for him. He seems like he wants to be coming to United, but still, it's down to the money aspect. Nobody can really afford Jadon Sancho right now with what's going on. So to expect Manchester United to actually be able to afford them is, but we are a massive football club, so we should be able to afford him, which it looks like we may get him anyway. Thank you, by the way, to Mr. Matty the Rush Meister. Matt Rush has just sent me some more information here. He is my transfer guru on the channel. He's got some brilliant sources. Follow him on Twitter, MattUnited20, MattUTD20. And, so Fabrizio just tweeted 47 minutes ago, commenting, saying, after personal terms agreed with Barca as reported yesterday, Memphis Depay is pushing to leave Olympique Lyon. Koeman wants him strongly. Depay would love to join Barcelona, but there's still no official bid from Barcelona. Waiting to sell players, and they're also going to make some decisions about new signings. So it's more of this sort of agenda again. We're seeing what's happened. Wijnaldum's being linked with Barcelona. Shout out to Chuck's Football for subscribing to the channel. Thank you, matey. There's a lot of chatter about what sort of decision Barca are going to make in terms of who they're going to bring into the football club and who they're going to get rid of. There's so many players been linked with a move away from Barca right now with what's been going on in the club, and also a bunch of players being linked with a move to Barcelona. So we'll have to see what happens there. But Memphis Depay reported as yesterday, Fabrizio Romano, terms agree with Barca. It's a down on the football clubs to agree now. Did you see what Louis van Gaal said about Memphis Depay being linked with Barcelona? He basically said, he's a good player, but he's never really going to be Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo or anyone like that, which is fair enough, but it's only facts. He's not said anything too harsh there. But Louis van Gaal having his say. I haven't heard that name on the channel for a little while, eh? Shout out to Walter Clothier for subscribing, by the way. Yeah, if you're tuning in, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, smash that subscribe button, like VPL Binod as well, who's just subscribed and got in on the channel. You legends. Thanks for getting in here, everyone. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Shout out to all the old school subscribers. No Bones Jones, what's going on, buddy? Ryan Sebastio Valles says, is Pogba underrated? No, I don't think he is. I think, if anything, he's a little bit overrated. That's my personal opinion, because I've seen how he's played for United over the last 4 odd years. He's good, but he's never been great for me. Actually, that's not true. He's been great in individual games, but over even one season, he's never had like one great season. It's all a bit too inconsistent for me for Paul Pogba. Ice Queen Gaming, what's cracker-lacking? Aaron Homeyard, thank you for posting the website in there, and thank you to Energies for subscribing. But yeah, visit the website, flyingpigunited.com. He's just put a link in there. Nice one. Okay, Nicholas Clark, thank you very much. Sane or Sancho. George Miller says, hi, Flying Pig. I believe we will get Sancho deal over the line. This is Ollie's make or break season. Yeah, this is the thing. Like we've been talking about at the top of the video, it's understood that that meeting from a few days ago, Solskjaer absolutely demanded Sancho. That's his number one target anyway. So he would be very disappointed not to get him in this window. He's also understood to have had lots of telephone calls with Jadon over this window. So this is definitely a hot player that he wants to get in there, Right then. Yeah, smash that like button as well, lads and lasses. If you're just tuning in right now and you haven't hit the like button yet, please do leave a cheeky little like on this video. That'll help us out loads. And get your thoughts and comments in. We've got a few other little things to cover in this video, and then we will crack on and just get on to the Q&A with you, lads and lasses. Solskjaer has hinted defender Teden Mengi could be set for a first-team role with Man United this season after describing the youngster as special. Oh, Mengi does look like a great one for the future, but this just smacks of more desperatione from Manchester United, and the fact that we're probably not going to get a centre-back in this window. He's 18, of course. He did make his debut for United as a substitute against Linz last season, but other than that, he wasn't really involved in the first team. But he's only 18, probably ready to make a step up. Look, I've not seen a whole lot from Mengi, but what I have seen in the youth games and things like that, I've been very, very impressed by. What do you guys think about Mengi coming into the first team squad and maybe having a role in United's defence? Let me know what you guys think. Would you think that is something United and Solskjaer should be looking to do this season? Remember, the football club should pride itself on promoting youth players, and what's better than going and signing a £60 million centre-back like Upamecano, producing one yourself? That is absolutely better. So what do you guys think? Smash a 1 in the live chat if you think that Mengi is up to the task of joining the first team proper in this season. Get your thoughts and opinions in. Thank you, Matty Rush. He says we've just hit 159 likes. That is absolutely brilliant, lads and lasses. Thank you for smashing that thumbs up on it. We've got over 150, you legends. Larry Wise comments, red is always red. So look at this. Adam Maloney with a 1 vote. Shamin Meyer with a 1 vote. Jonathan Gallagher thinks 2, no. Kayam comments, I don't think he's ready to play week in, week out. How are you today, Kayam, matey? Yeah, I know what you mean. He's obviously not ready. At 18 years of age, it's very unlikely that he'll be ready. Look, Greenwood has only just about got to the stage now, after a full season, really, or most of the season, of development at Manchester United, where we would consider him good enough or consistent enough or quality enough to really consistently play every single week in, week out game, which if Sancho comes in, he probably won't do anyway, which I think's good because he's young, you don't want to push him too much anyway. But yeah, I agree, mate, but bring him into the side, allow him to play in a bunch of games this season. The facts are we shouldn't be wasting our time with people like Phil Jones, Chris Smalling, all these guys, which, okay, there's a bit of information about that, but with all these guys anymore whatsoever. Rojo, what's Rojo doing around the gaff as well? I'm hearing Solskjaer's interested in keeping Rojo at the club at the moment. That also smacks of desperation for me from the football club. Absolutely desperate in terms of not being able to go and sign a new quality centre-back. Rojo's not your man. I mean, okay, he can play left-back and centre-back. He's actually useful to have around. I guess we're keeping him until we find out whether this Reguilon deal is possible, whether we can get this Reguilon guy over the line. I guess we're hanging on to him there because he's kind of versatile. You can play him left-back in a game against Lars Glins in the Europa League. And there are going to be some games throughout the season where we need to shuffle the pack a little bit and rest some players and cover for injuries. So he's not the worst player to have around, but it just goes to show it's a little indicator, I think, of what Manchester United's ambition is in this window. It's not to sign a centre-back. It's not even necessarily this Reguilon situation. Because I think if we were really that intent on doing it, we'd have got our ins and our outs done a lot sooner on in this transfer window. But yeah, what do you guys think about Mengi? Is he good enough? Should he take the step up? I do believe that Manchester United and Solskjaer, the best thing that they can do is to promote 2 players into the first team setup every single season. Also sign a couple of players as well to improve the first team right now, because it's unlikely that a 16, 17, 18-year-old lad that's going to be breaking into the first team for his first sort of proper season is going to have an impact of a real seasoned, experienced player, unless they're just the next Wayne Rooney or something. So yeah, I think that there's a very strong possibility that we do promote these sorts of players like Mengi. There's also a couple of other players like Ethan Laird or, I don't know, you saw him sort of use Fosu Mensah a little bit and Twanzebe and these guys. So we'll see, obviously Twanzebe and Fosu Mensah are a bit older, so I think they're 22-ish. So they're actually further along in their terms of development, whereas these younger lads, maybe they're younger, maybe they've got more potential, maybe they should be allowed into the side. But I always believe that this should be the case at Manchester United. If you look at Manchester United all through the years, whether it's the Busby Babes or Sir Alex Ferguson's class of 92 or whatever, at Manchester United, we've always developed our own talents. We've always created talents. Even over the last few years of this period of time where United have been really quite shocking, we still developed talents. We still had players come into the side and cement themselves as quality players. Look at Marcus Rashford. He's definitely one of England's best players, and he's come through the academy and the setup of Manchester United. People like Jesse Lingard and stuff like that. Yeah, okay. Let's not say that that's too good, but we still got players in the squad now that have come through and promoted from United's academy, and then the younger players in the side you're seeing now, like Brandon Williams, Mason Greenwood, of course. These lads are coming through. They've come through last season. So that season we've had 2 new players come through. Whether it remains to be seen whether Brando's good enough long term is another question. I think he will be, but of course we don't know the answer to that yet. He's got to develop. He's still very young, 19. Actually, he's just turned 20. Sorry, and of course Greenwood. Wow, 18 years of age, one of the best teenagers in the world. He's going to be sick. So there's no concerns about Mason Greenwood and the quality of that. Well, if you didn't do that, if you just did the Jose Mourinho model, or you just did the Chelsea model, which is really, okay, maybe not Chelsea now, you're starting to see Lamps do it more with like people like Gilmore and Mount and these guys, But you know what I mean? Traditionally over the years, when Roman came in, they spent money, they bought experienced players, and they've thrown money at it, and they've got the experience in there. That is what happens for a quick fix, but if you did that, you're never going to get Mason Greenwood come through. You're never going to get Marcus Rashford come through. You're never going to get Brandon Williams come through. So remember that, lads and lasses. Like, there is a fine line. There is a balance you have to make here of promoting and developing and giving the youth the opportunities that they deserve. And they should get a club like United, which has always developed its talents. But at the same time, you do want to add some quality into the first team right now. So there is a fine balance there. But I definitely think that United should be promoting Mengi, they should be promoting Laird, they should be promoting a couple of players really to have more first team responsibilities this season. We've got Dalot and Wan-Bissaka at right back. Well, let's have Laird involved then more. Let's actually have him playing a lot more games. I would like to see Solskjaer do that with a couple more players this season. The ones that are good enough, the ones that are earmarked for special things. That's what we want to see. People like Mengi. Mengi's got great talent for an 18-year-old lad. So let's see how he develops and how he gets on. Hey, thank you so much to everyone that's tuning in. Over 450 of you legends stopping by. I hope you're having a great afternoon. We're almost at 200 likes, so if you haven't hit the like button yet, please do leave a cheeky little thumbs up on the vid. That'll help this stream out tremendously. Christopher Campbell says there's nothing wrong with Paul Pogba, and we need players to make our balance. Very true. I think Paul Pogba's actually really looked good after lockdown. Maybe the end of the season he petered out a little bit, but I think he's benefited a lot from Solskjaer's overall management like a lot of the players have. So we've seen better from Paul Pogba this season. He's changed my opinion on him, he has. Because a year ago I was pretty adamant that I would rather have the money and reinvest it into the side. But now I'm thinking if Paul Pogba's committed, if he's on it, if he's used in the right system, he can do some serious bits. Did you see some of the games where he was combining with Bruno Fernandes? I just thought, yeah, this looks great, and they've only just begun. We've only just begun. So yeah, pretty exceptional talent, Paul Pogba, on his day. We just want to see that day more often. Paddy ZA comments, Van Star as the director of football should be the major signing. Ollie should demand that signing. I agree with you, mate. But we've gone over this. He would end up just being another yes man, just another port of call for the Glazers and Woodward and stuff like that. Because realistically, that's what they want. They're not going to give somebody that creative freedom in the role or that financial freedom in the role to go and really strengthen the way that Manchester United fans and that we would want somebody like Edwin would want to do. So I don't think he would do the role, get the role. Man United Football, thank you very much. Says we need a new number 7, mate. Sancho fits the bill. You're right about that one, dude. We've had the squad number left free for a very good reason, haven't we? Sancho fits the bill. He's Solskjaer's number 1 priority, his number 1 target. Man United need this player this season. Come on. All signs point to Jadon Sancho being a red within the next week or something. But we will see. I mean, it's not guaranteed. There's no, like I said before, it's down to the money. United are pretty stingy at the moment. We'll see. I mean, they're asking a lot of money, though, Dortmund. No other teams are lining up. Nobody else would pay it. So they're asking a lot of money. Clam J says, Pig, what's your fantasy league deets? Okay, so if you go to my Twitter at Mr. Flying Pig HD, I posted it yesterday or something, so you should be able to find it. Also, if you go to the community post page on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, go to the community post page. The link is on there, and also the code to join. But yeah, join the league, lads and lasses, if you haven't done so yet, the Fantasy Premier League. We've got hundreds of people in it already. Should be an interest, and we're going to hold a competition for it as well. I'll announce the details very soon, and probably a shirt or something like that for the winner. Next season's shirt, the brand new shirt when it comes out. Priyam Das comments, Mengi has great leadership quality. Next Keane in the making. I love it, Priyam. That's what we need at United. Some characters, some leaders. So if he is a great leader, I would love to see him come to the side and show that leadership. But also, 20, he's 18 actually. 18 years of age. Crikey, he's got a lot of developing to do. He needs to be given that mantle at the club. Poozar Garoon says, Rashford is Trashford. I mean, he has played Trashford in a bunch of games. Even Gashford, some might say. Even Mashford. But other games, he's been absolutely bloody sensational. In fact, he's a big reason why United had a good season. Look at the first half of the season. He was one of the best players. He scored a shitload of goals. Mday Sokar Sulatin, what's going on? Christopher Campbell, what about Upper Meccano? I'd like to see him come in, but I don't think United are going to do it. I really don't think we're fanning around. Bit more news, actually, lads and lasses, before we get into the comment section properly. Chris Smalling, so he's no longer taking part in Manchester United first team training. So it's, we've been talking about it on this channel for days anyway, that the deal's been agreed with Roma. A return for Chris Smalling to Roma. It's looking likely 13 to 14 million euros and a 2-year contract, maybe a 3-year contract for the Serie A club for Chris Smalling. So he's going to be leaving the football club very, very soon, but he's obviously not taking part in the first team training. He did impress over when he was on loan in Roma, so I'm sure he's relishing the prospect of going back there and playing for the club. And he's been a good player for United over the years. But as I said, it's time that we promoted either the youth players or signed better quality players. Like if we get rid of Rojo, get rid of Smalling, get rid of Jones, in my opinion, they're all surplus to requirements. Then you can promote Mengi, you can give Twanzebe more opportunities, and that way you're developing and you're giving these youngsters good game time. Rather than having Phil Jones come in and play a role, what's the point? He's not going to develop anything other than maybe a new Gurn meme. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't even consider playing Phil Jones anymore, ever, even if we can't sell him. So yes, there you go. Full agreement. Manchester United and Roma have reached a full agreement over Chris Smalling as well. This is also being reported about an hour and a half ago from a close source that Roma and Manchester United have reached a full agreement over Chris Smalling. So in terms of the numbers, we thought it's going to be about 13 or 14, but when we do find out officially, we'll let you guys know. Okay then, brilliant stuff. That's great. So, okay, one other thing I just wanted to talk about in regards to Thiago and Liverpool. It does look like Liverpool are the front runners to bring Thiago in, and I think they will spend the money on Thiago this window because, like we've talked about, they may sell Wijnaldum, but even if they don't, it's good to bring somebody into the football club. They are the Premier League champions at the end of the day. I think they will bring him in because he'll be on low money. He'll cost low money, 30 million euros for a player with not long left on his contract. He'll be on big money for a Liverpool player, though, somewhere probably around 300, maybe even in excess of that per week. So we'll see what happens in regards to that. I hope Liverpool don't get him because I really think he's a great player and I would love Manchester United to go and get him, but I just think it's unrealistic for our shite board to do it. What do you guys think? Smash a 1 in the live chat if you think Thiago's going to Liverpool, or smash something else or write something else if you think he's not. Hey, the United Way, how are you doing? Great to have you in here. I hope you're having a good day, matey. Sadie Ahmed comments, the main problem is Woodward. Get rid of him and get someone who understands football. Agreed, he might understand how to peel a potato because he's got one on his neck in terms of his head. But other than that, I don't see what he really brings to the role. Actually, because of that financial background, he is good in the commercial aspects of getting deals done. That's why the Glazers have him there as their little puppet master, isn't it? Their little bitch, their little bully boy bitch. That is basically what Edward Woodward is. That's what I see him as. He's the Glazers' little whipping boy. The King, how's it going, the King? How's it going? Mad Dogs UK as well. Gabriel Kujay, Osman, Ellie says, what is it, Becky? I can't see it. I don't know what's going on. But shout out to you all for stopping by and getting in here. Really appreciate you watching today. Dialina Fernandez, I love the name. Dialina Fernandez comments, need to clear the deadwood. Depressing, isn't it? Nobody wants our players because they're on massive money. The only way we'll actually get these players out of the club, I think, is if the player decides that they want to leave for a first team challenge and take a pay cut, which they won't, or Manchester United pay the remainder percentage of the contract. So, look, we'll see what happens. There was links with Phil Jones to Newcastle United. Chris Mon is looking likely to go into Roma. There was also links with Marcus Rojo potentially going back to Estudiantes. But I think maybe if he stays, that goes to show you the lack of ambition from the board in terms of replacing. We'd rather keep Rojo. He's a bang average player. He's decent, actually. He's good, but he's not good enough for the first team or anything like that. And we've tried and tested him. So what's the point? We've also got Jesse Shingard around the place, getting paid a significant amount of money to be bang bloody average. What about Pereira? Andreas Pereira, absolutely garbage. Awful player for United. Like championship standard player, I reckon. Maybe that's harsh, but I've seen him play a lot of time for United this season. Solskjaer had a mare. That's one of my criticisms of Solskjaer. I love Solskjaer, but one of my criticisms of Solskjaer is playing Jesse Lingard and playing Andreas Pereira too much when he could have played some of the other younger players who would not have done any worse. People like your Angel Gomez's or your Tahith Chongs and these guys. They would have not done any worse. No chance. Or even James Garner and people like this. Hey, MUFC Gang says, Don Pig, my brother, we should keep Rojo. He's a killer. That is a good thing about Rojo. He's a bit of a lunatic. He's a bit of a street lad. He's got a bit about him. He's a bit nasty. I like it. I love it, in fact. We need that in our side. We've got too many nice guys. Who do you want going into a barroom brawl, lads and lasses? Stick a 1 in the chat for Marcus Rojo. Stick a 2 in the chat for Daniel James. You know what I mean? Like, we need a bit of bottle. We need... Maybe that's harsh on Daniel. Maybe he knows some crazy, Scottish martial art called fakir or something like that we don't even know about. But no, look at all these ones coming in the live chat. Yeah. Becky Hope said she'd rather have Dan James in a barroom brawl. That's just because he's cute, right, Becky? And Maurice Varela says the same. Piriam Das. They're all going with Danny James. Fair play. I'd definitely rather have Marcus Rojo alongside me in a barroom scuffle. I'm just saying. Anyway. Silas Paul, thank you for your comments, Silas. He comments, just need to strengthen our squad because we need to win trophies. Yes, absolutely. If we're going to challenge, we need to improve the overall depth and quality of our side. We're having a nightmare, Silas. It's shocking. This window's gash. Aniket Mohan, hey, you're Aniket. What's going on, dude? He says, Daniel James all the way. It's a pick of a finger, is it? I did see that emoji. It's very small on my screen. I thought it looked a little bit questionable, but it's actually just a finger under further investigation. Good job, Ellie. Sharia Rahman says, Reguilon to Man U. Isn't it possible? Okay, thank you. So we haven't really talked about this in this video because we covered it a lot on this channel this week. And obviously, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but in regards to Reguilon, seeing as you've asked, I mean, look, we have we don't got to get him in there. It's not really a position that was number one priority at all. But it would be nice to have him in there because of his stats, because of what he could bring to the club in terms of an attacking wing back. Plus, if Solskjaer wants to play three at the back in certain games and use Luke Shaw as that left side of centre back, then it would be great to have Reguilón there as the left wing back. So, and overall, Luke Shaw, we've spoken about this too in length, that he's got fitness issues, he likes a pizza, he's got conditioning issues, and he's injury prone. So you're always going to have somebody ready to deputise for Luke Shaw. Come the end of the season, when Brando came in, we did lose something by not having Luke Shaw in there. He wasn't quite up to the standard yet. I don't think it's Brando's fault. I think he was tired. I think he was being pushed quite a bit, like that Europa League game against Sevilla. He shouldn't have been on the pitch after 70 minutes. He was tired, but we didn't have the quality of the depth there to do much about it, or Solskjaer didn't want to do anything about it at the time anyway, because it probably would have been detrimental to the club to bring somebody else on that isn't, as accustomed to doing the job there. So you can understand it, but I just think that actually Reguilón would add so much to this football club right now, just for depth over on that side. And United should go and get him, but the situation is as it has been. Reguilón's spoken to a bunch of football clubs about what he's going to do with his future, Manchester United being one of them. There's also talk about Sevilla being heavily linked with a move back for him, a loan agreement, and also another offer for a buyback transfer on the table as well from Sevilla. And Tottenham are supposed to be interested. There's a few football clubs around the world that are interested in Sergio Reguilón, rightfully so, because he's a brilliant young talent. But if you consider the money involved, it's not a lot of money. Man United should get the deal done. 25 million euros, 30 million euros, we're talking about that. But the stumbling block, as it has been throughout these whole negotiations, is the buyback clause. The buyback clause is what is stopping it, because we are not prepared to pay a significant amount more to get him without a buyback clause. We are offering more money from what we understand without a buyback clause, but not a significant amount. And Real Madrid want to keep their player. They want to keep him developing. They want him back in the future in a few years' time to take over for them, perhaps the likes of Marcelo or and challenge Mendy and these guys. So we'll see what happens, guys. But look, there's no real update on Reguilón. It's just as it is at the moment. We're waiting to see if Man United can reach an agreement with the football club. The player won't be an issue. Like I said, he will relish the opportunity for playing for a massive football club like Manchester United. There's no doubt about that one in my eyes. So yeah, I think it's still looking okay for Reguilón. But look, as time marches on, it becomes less and less likely unless we get the deal announced. But I've got a feeling we will, because it's another bargain basement signing by the Glazers and Woodward, and that's what they like. They love a bargain basement signing just to appease the fans. Thankfully, Fjortoft has just tweeted as well saying, question based on who Liverpool watch, they are not after him now. So Sancho, that's great stuff. So yeah, definitely not after Sancho. I think that nobody can, that's the thing, they're skint, aren't they? So they're definitely not bloody after him. Dialina Fernandez says, Dallo at right wing could work. I agree with you, Dialina. He is good going forward. He's not good defensively. I think that he's quite a useful player to have as a deputy or a backup for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, simply because of those reasons. He's a different player to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka's that defensive beast, and Dallo's that got some good skills attacking-wise. And he is okay defensively, but I think he needs to improve. He will improve, though. He's still only 20. Let's give him a little chance here. We gave Matteo Darmian a significant chance, and he did piss all. Let's see if Dallo can come on and do some bits for Man United this season. But I agree with you. Going forward, taking it past people, he's pretty good at. It's more about the final product with him, needs improvement, and also defensively needs some improvement. Jolly Hitchlow, what's going on, my friend? FC United forever, hello to you. Says, afternoon all, I'll get a bit of live rather than a rerun. Good man, FC United. Thank you for getting in here live. Please smash a thumbs up on this video, everybody, if you have not done so already. Football with Brownie, what's it going, my friend? How's it going, my friend? He says, I just think it's United's PR machine going into overdrive that the problem is anything but the fact that they can't raise the cash to buy Sancho. Very, very good comment, Football with Brownie. Like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if Man United ended this window having only signed Van der Beek because of the cash situation, and the fact that you are right about that. We're biding our time, with everything's being drip-fed out of the football clubs, whether it's Dortmund, United, there's all these stories and links and all these things, and it is just a big propaganda machine. You're right about that one, dude. Hopefully United can get the deal done, but like I said, everyone's talking about this Sancho deal like it's done, and I hope that it is going to get done, and like we said, we're expecting that official bid by United in the next 36 hours, but it might never come, and it also might never be accepted. It depends how much it is. It depends if Dortmund want to sell for that amount. Nice one. Yeah, good stuff. Mohammed Nasir Tan Shri, how you doing? He says, we urgently need a centre-back. Agreed, I think we should do with getting somebody in there. Sure, we can promote Mengi or give Twanzebe an opportunity, but if we start the new season with Lindelof and Maguire at the back, how are we expecting any different results? It's insanity, lads and lasses. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is insanity. So why the hell would we be insane? It makes no sense. Insane in the membrane. That's what it would be if Manchester United started the season with Lindelof and Maguire at the back. And if that is the case, if we don't sign a centre-back, I would like and I would hope that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will have a little bit about him. I would hope anyway to understand that the centre-back tandem partnership of Maguire and Lindelof doesn't work because there's not enough pace in there, but also because Lindelof isn't defensively sound enough. Maguire is, and he's great on the ball. Lindelof's a really good pass master. He's cool on the ball. But I think in terms of actual physicality and defensive guile and being able to clear balls away and all that, he's second by a long way to somebody like Harry Maguire. And you need a proper quality centre-back if you're going to be a good team. Ritwik Mukpadawi says, I would take Malang Sarr if not Sancho. Interesting shout. Well, there's a bunch of players that Manchester United should take, but we're running out of time. If we don't get the deal done with Sancho, who do we get, guys? Who do we get last minute Larry coming in here? Get your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, actually. If you could sign one other player other than Jadon Sancho, put the name in there. Who would you get? Because if this deal does fall down, who would you get in there? And don't say bloody Josh King. Do not say Josh King. Because I don't like that link. I mean, yeah, okay, as a squad player, but nah, come on. United need to be getting a first team player here. First team player. Safe 5000 says Bale on loan. Oh my God, Gareth Bale. I don't know about that one. He's going to demand a shit ton of money. But look, Ledge on Cake also says Bale. Jonathan Gallagher says Adama Traore. I like that, my friend, but I don't think that Wolves would sell him. I don't think they would say, and I don't think United would pay the money. Certainly, if we're not going to pay 120 million for Sancho, I don't see us paying the 60 or 70 million that you might have to pay to get something like Adama. Because I think Adama's quite young as well. I think he's only 23, so he's got a lot of developing to do. And if you actually look at Adama's stats last season, like, he's effective, man. He is effective. He scores and assists. Pida says Chong. So Tahith Chong, obviously over at Werder Bremen. You think he's the man, do you? Josh King says Ellie. Oh no! I knew it. No, I wouldn't want to. I'd actually have him as a sign-in, but not unless we get somebody else better. Leon Bailey's a good shout, Jez. Yep. Ronaldo says KR. Man, oh man, that would just be the business if we could do that. Forget Sancho, let's get Ronaldo. Actually, Sancho's 15 years younger, so it would be great for United's rebuild and United's future to have a player like Sancho. That's what it ultimately boils down to. This is why the money with Sancho is crazy money, but it doesn't really. You have to understand that over 10 years, if you split that amount up, it's a very reasonable amount of money as long as he's at the football club for 10 years. Like a Rio Ferdinand situation, huge amount of money, but it pays for itself. But if they're good enough and they stay there for a significant time, crikey, you don't have to worry about getting your next right winger for 10 years. Brilliant. Sounds amazing to me. It's a great investment. Great investment. Matt Ross says Luke Chadwick. Coming back out of retirement. Go on, Luke. What a top lad, yeah. Dan Johnson says we'll end up with Ashley Young back. By the way, if you've not seen the Luke Chadwick interview on the channel, you probably have now, but it's on the channel from a couple of days ago. We spoke to Luke Chadwick about Sancho, United, transfers, his career, and a whole bunch of great stuff. So if you've not seen it, check it out. AJM95, yes, lad. How you doing? One of the channel members getting in. He says, hey, pig, what's up? What's up to you, AJM95? I hope you're doing good today, matey. Thank you for stopping by. Bad O says Costa. I'm guessing you mean Douglas Costa, not Diego Costa. But yeah, Douglas Costa was linked with the club, wasn't he, a couple of weeks ago? So you never know. A 30-year-old Brazilian player, like, good player as well, but short-term fix. But that's all we need right now. If you can get a player of Douglas Costa's quality in for 20 million, if the Sancho deal is absolutely dead in the water, then it's actually a pretty decent sign-in based on just trying to get the depth and quality in the side. It's not an amazing sign-in. It's only a short-term fix, and it's not as good as Sancho. But in terms of like adding quality, I would be okay with that. Jez Bish says Traore is a 30-minute impact player, not a 90-minute man. That's also a very fair point, yes. But I do think that Greenwood's going to need a little bit of help over on that side anyway. And I'm not sure if Dan James. I mean, okay, I'm not writing Dan James off. I actually think he had a good couple of months at the start of the season, and he's a good player. But he's got to improve a lot, doesn't he? Thank you guys for commenting, by the way. This is absolutely brilliant. There's a lot of legends commenting today. Thank you for all your comments. Do us a favour if you haven't done so. Smash that thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button too. You can click the bell icon to be notified when we go live. We cover everything United daily on this channel as well. So keep a lookout for upcoming news and announcements and stuff like that. We'll keep you up to date with the latest goings on with Manchester United's transfer window. And of course, the season's not far away, so we will be getting into that too. The United way, thank you, says Ollie going to work with the best defenders at United as a player. I think he knows what type of players it takes to win leagues. And Vic and Harry ain't... Oh, so Lindelof and... Oh, yeah, Victor Lindelof, and Harry ain't Vidic and Rio. But Ollie knows what the Glazers are like. So true, yeah, so true. I don't think he should persevere with Lindelof, but he might be forced into that situation. Lindelof's a big player in the squad, really. Like, out of the centre-backs, probably, obviously, it's only Harry Maguire that'll be on more money than Lindelof. So, it's one of those, isn't it? Dieter Parmana says Alex Tellers and Upper Meccano. Alex Tellers would be an interesting one as well if we don't get Reguilon. Andreas Sartoru comments, take Bale on loan if Real pays 70% of his wages. Well, yeah, I mean, absolutely, I would take Gareth Bale on loan then. Problem is, I think he's on like 400 grand a week, isn't he, or something preposterous? And he's not the most serious of characters. I think he'd actually relish playing a season at United, though, to get away from Real Madrid. There was never any concerns about his motivation or concerns about his effort levels or anything when he was at Tottenham. In fact, he was often the driving force in Tottenham's team. So there's that as well, guys. So yeah, to be fair, if we could get Bale on loan with a percentage, even if it's paying like 250, 300 grand a week for him, to have him on loan, to have Gareth Bale on loan, there's not really much risk involved there. You're not buying him on a transfer. You're not spending loads of money. Even at the end of it, if it's unsuccessful, he goes back to Real Madrid. So yeah, if that was the situation, if we could get Bale on loan, I would take Bale on loan. Definitely. The only thing I don't want Bale on a permanent transfer is because I think there's attitude concerns, but that could just be his complete jadedness at Real Madrid. And also the fact that he is on huge money. But if it's a loan deal with a percentage of the loan, what a great signing that would be. Like, get him. Just get him. If we could do it. I didn't even think about it, but would Real Madrid let him go and pay him to play for Manchester United? I don't know. Lee Stewart thinks, yes, get Bale on a 1-year loan and then go and get Jadon Sancho next year. Very interesting. Rick Wick comments, Reed Alaba is available. Would be a brilliant signing. Totally agree. I've always wanted Alaba at this football club, and he can play centre back as well nowadays. He's just a complete all-round boss. Stephen United says, Josh King, are you joking? No, it looks like he might, that's one of the links. It's Gash, isn't it? Karan Singh says, Depay, interesting, being linked with Barcelona at the moment. Jamie Lee Cohn says, back like a heart attack. What's going on, Jamie Lee Jones? Jamie Low-Key Jones, good to see you in here, today. Dan Johnson says, I'd take Bale on a free. I think we would take Bale on a free, actually, even if the money was big. But no, it's obviously not going to happen. Beata Thompson, yes, Beata, says, loan Bale and buy Zaha back. Mate, that is potent. I like what you've done there. That's potent. Priyan Das says, Sancho or no one. No replacement for Sancho. Yeah, okay, understand your point there. But it's not really a replacement for Sancho. It's just like a quick fix until we can get a deal in place with Dortmund maybe at a later date. That's the thing. If Dortmund are playing hardball, we know what Man United's board are like playing hardball for players like Bruno and Maguire. They will play hardball. They will play the long game. They will play the waiting game. And the fact is, if nobody else is coming in with an offer near that and Dortmund want the money, then in 3 months' time or a year's time, if we went and had an offer, then they would probably accept it. So, United play the long haul. And if you can get somebody in as a cheap option, then maybe that would be good. AJM says Adama is the best option over Sancho. I do rate him. I rate him too. Dieter Pamana says, when's transfer Sancho? We'll see. Hopefully an offer comes in the next couple of days, but we know what Manchester United are like. Mohammed Nasir Tan says, Sancho would strengthen our midfielders, yet defensively we are still below par. Totally agree. We need to get that centre back in. And I think we could do with a CDM as well. I mean, I saw some BS article today about N'Golo Kante being linked to the club, but it's just BS, I would love it though. I would love to get N'Golo Kante in. Thank you so much, everyone who's watching. Let's see what else you guys think quickly, and then we'll wrap this one up. But Reaper says, Ivan Perisic, yeah, maybe available cheap as well. Interesting. When are we selling? Chris Smalling says, Sham. It's probably going to be in the next day or two. The terms and everything are agreed between the two clubs now. I expect movement on that in the next 2 days. I'll let you guys know as soon as we've got something official from the football club. Axel Tomasi says Howard Stern. Random. Kenneth Bansal says, what's the final update on Sancho? So just basically, all it really is that Jadon Sancho is completely besotted by Manchester United, really. He wants to join. Solskjaer wants him. Solskjaer's been in contact with him. Solskjaer's demanded from the board that they sign Jadon Sancho, basically in a meeting with them in no uncertain terms. So we'll see if they go ahead and do that. It's down to the money. It's down to whether the deal can get done. We're still waiting for Manchester United to agree a deal with Dortmund. So I'll let you guys know when we do it, and even if we go back and launch an official bid. We'll see, but hopefully it happens very, very soon. Mr. NLWT says 20 goals and 20 assists in 20 appearances. Absolutely incredible. Incredible. Jonathan Gallagher says, hell no to Bale. I wouldn't take him on a proper transfer, but maybe on a loan or something like that. I think that would be pretty sweet. Matt Rush says, Bale would want 500k per week. Crazy money. Absolutely. We would never do that. We don't want to do another Alexis Sanchez situation. Plus, he's injury prone as well, remember. He's not going to play all the games. So 500k a week does not represent good value for anybody coming into United right now, unless their name's Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi. Anyone else? No, not interested in paying that money to them. We do not want another Alexis Sanchez situation. He was a complete drain and a complete, just a scumbag whilst at Manchester United. We don't want another situation like that with an overpaid prima donna who's not giving you too much input. I'm not saying Bale would do that at United, but the only way I would take Bale is if we had him on a season-long loan and Real Madrid were paying a percentage of his wages. That way it'd be worth it for us. Yeah, nice one, Aslim Kaylan. Yeah, that's what we've been talking about earlier. I think some of these players should absolutely be promoted to the first team now. 2 players this season I'd like to see really featuring, like Brando and Greenwood, and also sign a couple of new players as well. Right then, lads and lasses, I'm going to wrap this video up today, but I really want to say thank you so much to you all for tuning in and getting involved and having your say and giving me your thoughts and opinions on all the different topics we talked about. Just to summarise, the Sancho deal is expected, but Manchester United have to pay the money. Dortmund may bend a little bit. They keep putting it out there in the PR machine that they're not moving on that 120 million euro valuation, but realistically, Manchester United would... If we could meet that figure, then we would have our player. It's as simple as that, really, because Jadon's interested in joining. He's got wages being reported in the region of around about 250k a week, but I think it's probably closer to 220k a week to have sort of similar sort of parity to players like Rashi and people like that, because you don't want to undermine Rashi coming in there on 300k a week and being paid what Pogba is, a big senior player of the squad. Makes no sense. So that's what we're hearing right now, guys. Sancho's offer of his contract is somewhere between 200 and 250k a week, and also, which, come back in a few minutes time when this video is finished and comment what you think he should be paid. Like, come back after this video is finished, comment your weekly wage that you think Jadon Sancho should be paid. We talked about it earlier. A bunch of people thought 300k, but I thought that's too much considering that it's only De Gea and Pogba that would be on the same money or more. So realistically, I don't see it happening, but he's going to want a big money offer coming to United under 120 million euro move. Come on, he's not going to be paid chump change here. Anyway, guys, so yeah, come back in a few minutes, have your say, let me know your opinions. Jonathan Gallagher says 225,000. Yeah, there you go. So come back and let me know what figure you would pay Jadon Sancho at the football club for his contract. And also let me know if you think Jadon Sancho is a realistic prospect in the next few days. I think he is. I think United need to go get him. Solskjaer's demanded it. Solskjaer wants him. He's his number one target. Number one priority for United this window is to get Sancho in. You can argue whether that should be the case. I think a centre-back's just as important, but it seems like Sancho is numero uno in terms of priorities at United. Thank you all for watching this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Smash that sub button. If there's more news and some more goings on tonight to discuss, I will jump on and talk and do a transfer video as well. Evening transfer roundup. We're trying to do 2 a day at the moment when there's stuff to actually announce. So in the afternoon, today we were a little bit late, but usually it's going to be about 2:30 to 3:30. That's when it will start. And in the evening, sometime between 9 and 10 usually. So keep a lookout, lads and lasses. Thank you for watching this show today. Thank you for all your comments. Stephen Jones, Pie-Eyed Piper, Becky Hope, Zenden Highland. Oh, sorry, mate, if I missed your reply there, Zenden. But shout out to you, Zenden Highland. CFF, CSF, Emmanuel Videos, what's going on? Simon Cowie, Matty the Rushmeister legend, Ryan Berberspin 9 thinks 200k's enough. Ryan Berberspin 9, you absolute legionde. Yeah, I think you're probably right. Thank you, Priam Das says great show. Thank you, Priam. Gabriel Cujo, Jamie Loki Jones says bye Ellie, bye everyone, bye Pig. Thank you, Jamie Loki Jones. Have a great day, mate. Keep it low key. G Wolf, thank you. Becky Hope, Stephen James, AJM95, Jimmy Sefunka, Becky, Axel Tamasi, Dan Johnson, Ellie, Jonathan Gallagher, Andy Chibuki, and everyone else. I'm going to leave it there then, but thank you for watching. Come back, have your say in a minute about anything we've discussed on the vid. Drop that like on the video if you haven't smashed that like already. That would be awesome of you. And also smash that subscribe button if you haven't. You can follow the channel on social media at Flying Pig United on all different social media channels. And you can also follow my personal Twitter account at Mr. Flying Pig HD and check out the website flyingpigunited.com. So there you go. Thank you for watching. There's your afternoon Manchester United transfer news. Have a wicked afternoon. Have a great evening, everyone. I will see you a bit later on for some more news and updates. Stay classy. This is the Pig on Flying Pig United. And come on, United. Sort your bloody lives out. Let's get some action. Let's get some players in now. Oh, yeah. Nice one, guys. Andreas Sotaru as well. Thank you for commenting throughout, mate. Bremer Sesse as well says, great show. Watch from Sierra Leone. Shout out to you, Bremer, for getting in here from Sierra Leone. AJ95, Christopher Campbell. Who else? Cornelius as well. Shout out, Cornelius. Dionysius Gale, shout out to you, and Ellie, Jamie Loki Jones, everybody, Ryan Berber, these Aaron Homeyard as well, Aaron and Mary Homeyard, shout out Aaron Homeyard, great job to the mods, shout out to the mods, love heart emoji in the live chat for the mods. But this is also the end credits, just to say thanks to all the patrons that support this channel on Patreon, and also tier 2 channel members appear on this list also. Just want to say massive shout out to all the legends that do that, and just generally everybody that watches this vid. Best way you can support this show is by smashing that like, tuning in and sharing it around, guys. That's literally it. But anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for having your say and interacting with me throughout. Hamisi Abdullahi, thank you, Hamisi. Everyone at Abik as well, getting in at the end. Abik, thank you. That's going to be it from me. Have a great day, everyone. Come on, United. Let's do some business.